Hey everybody, video here for you today. Now I got up early this Sunday morning, not sure why. Had my fill of coffee, to say the least. So I thought I'd crank out an Ancient America video here before I shower or shave. We are going down to Arkansas today. This is in Arkansas, just on the west side of the Mississippi River here. But the site today, it's just a farmland here. Nothing really left, but there are maybe just a few faint traces of something down here. Notice right down here, there is just a few little lines and marks in the earth, and sometimes stuff doesn't grow properly where stuff was built prior. Maybe this is some area right down here. Right down here, a city existed with a big platform mound. Today, really nothing. Let's take a look at what this used to look like a long time ago right down here. Here is an artist's conception of what this place used to look like. Many dwellings, a main central platform mound, but this is surrounded, it looks like, by a moat or a trench, maybe filled with water. The dating on this place, 650 years ago to 350 years ago, but I certainly think there could have been an earlier history here, the Nodena period, as it is called, in this area of the Mississippi River. I think this is the northernmost Nodena site, as they are called, but there are at least 6, 7 of them just south of here. Here's an overhead shot of the area, how far it is away from the river here. This is 30 miles north of Wilson. Just totally wiped from history. But I did find one old pic right down here. I think coming right from this area right here. And you can almost see maybe an outline of something there. Let's take a look at a pic I found. Here's an overhead shot from 60, 70 years ago from a plane. The big platform mound still existed in this farm field. You can see the right angles here. I think the black line is a trench, probably, excavation trench. But if remnants of something like this were found in Peru or Mexico, people would probably be going crazy. This is coming from a farm field from Arkansas. Excavations took place here between 1897 and 1941 by a Dr. James Hampson, and I believe there's a nearby museum with his name on it. But over 2,000 pottery vessels were found here and over 1,500 burials. Here's a pic from the mound site taken in 1942, almost 80 years ago. And even back then, not much remained, maybe just a slight rise here where the platform mound was out here. Not sure what that is out there in the field. Here's a pic of Dr. Hampson here on the right in 1922, excavating at the site. It looks like somebody's coming right out of the ground there, but excavating on a farm field 100 years ago. Here's a look at a very old pic where they were excavating around the individual homes here, but corn and beans were grown here. Here is a clay effigy pot found at the site. Pretty cool carving there. They say this is a pot. At first I thought that was an effigy pipe, but they say it's a pot. Here is a pottery vessel that was found at the site here, and I believe this is snake or serpent symbolism here. I think this design on here is how they represented snakes. Your thoughts? I will leave all these links below. Here is another effigy vessel, clearly with the bird symbolism on it here, and I have talked about the falcon and the birdman of Cahokia and Horus in Egypt. Etowah, I believe, is another site where this bird symbolism, maybe the spiral mounds also, but this is very common. This also comes from Mesoamerica. This is one of the sites that people have speculated that De Soto made it to, but elongated skulls were reported here. Cranial binding was reported here from the finds and from some reports. I found this website, the Virtual Hampson Museum. Let's take a look at a few pics and just do a little bit of reading. But today here, nothing. Facing the river right down here. This is what it used to look like. Another artist's conception of what this place used to look like here with the big platform mound right there. Here is that head pot I showed you originally. Here's a whole bunch of vessels found at the site. Some pottery. Different styles, probably different purposes. I see they have many pages of vessels here, pottery found at the site. Many different colors, styles here, designs on them. Pretty cool stuff. But guy was here, 1700s, and writes about the mound here. Let's just read. Here's an artist's conception of what this place looked like. Houses here, the big main platform mound where the chief lived. Charlevoix was here about 270 years ago. Let's just read. The temple stands at the side of the chief's cabin, facing the east, and at the extremity of the square. It is built of the same material with the cabins, but of a different shape, being an oblong square, 40 feet in length and 20 feet in breadth, with a very simple roof, in the same form as ours. At each extremity there is something like a weathercock of wood, which has a very coarse resemblance of an eagle. The gate is in the middle of the length of the building, which has no other opening. On each side there are seats of stone. What is within quite correspondent to this rustic outside, 3 pieces of wood, joined at the extremity, and placed in a triangle, or rather at an equal distance from one another, take up an almost whole middle space of the temple and burn slowly away. So that triangle with the fire in it, that is something directly from the Mayans I have talked about, and I will leave a link for that video below. That is a first-hand account of somebody who was here about 270 years ago. I think these large platform mounds were a little more complicated than what we are led to believe. Stonework up here, eagle symbolism, facing east, a hearth, a Mayan hearth with fire coming out of it, resembling a pyramid. That's pretty interesting. Why would they have wood forming a perfect triangle with a fire in the middle? Here are the hearthstones of creation, ancient Maya cosmology. Here is the perfect triangle. The smoke that they saw, or they say they saw, from the Orion Nebula, the smoke of creation. Also the place of heaven to the Sumerians and the Egyptians. Here is a site plan of the site, and maybe not so much with this city here, but other cities in ancient America. The way these mounds are set up, they remind me a lot of Mayan cities. And in a video I did a few days ago, the Georgia site, Richard Thornton made a lot of interesting connection between sites in Georgia and Olmec names. And I know I've had a few comments, but if you can think of Mayan sites and their connection to ancient America or city names, please leave that in the comments section. I know there's many of them, and I know some of you have left those before. But the site here, what it may have looked like a long time ago, and this is what it looks like today. It's kind of white from memory, nothing but farm field here. But that is a report from Arkansas. But some more lost history coming from ancient America. That is just north of Wilson in Arkansas, just west of the Mississippi River. Hope you thought that was informative, and you all have a very safe day.